Last week for our Devo times, I and some of our staff, we shared some of our favorite Bible verses. And we thought that was very effective, and we thought that was a great thing to do, so we want to do that again this week. And since this is May 4th, I was thinking of some kind of Star Wars verse. May the 4th be with you. You get it, right? Okay, I'm going to move on. But there is a force who is with us all the time, and this is God Almighty. This is who every one of us, this is what we need. We need God. The verse that I'm going to share became not just one of my favorite verses, but it really actually became a family verse as well. Parents, you might want to consider getting a family verse for your family, especially during this pandemic time. A verse that the family memorizes, that they talk about, that you guys go ahead and discuss all the time. And if you can start when your children are young, I'm telling you, it can really be an anchor for your family for years and years to come. But no matter what age, the time to start is today. I've shared this before, but Joshua 1:9 is a great verse. And this is what Joshua says. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God, He will be with you wherever you go. Our kids growing up were like all kids. They had some fears, some normal fears that all of us have, right? But it was good for them to be able to share their fears with us, their parents, for us to be able to pray with them about their fears, to talk about faith versus fear. Julie and I also, we wanted them to know this verse. Again, we would say that this is the Case family verse. And so we got to the point where we could say part of the phrase. We'd say, be strong, and then they were to complete that phrase. We'd say, be strong, they'd say, and courageous. And then we would ask why. And we would say, because the Lord our God is with us, wherever we go. And we just drilled that home over and over again. And I'm so glad we did this. There was a time in 3rd grade when Brett, he didn't really want to go to school. And he didn't want to go because he was afraid to leave us, afraid that we wouldn't be there when he came home. And it was a bad period of time. But this verse became something that we recited, that we discussed, that we prayed about a lot. Brett, be strong. And he would tear up, Brett, be strong. And then he would reluctantly say, and courageous. Why, Brett? Because God is with us wherever we go, even Mrs. Elliott's room. You fast forward, our baby girl, our firstborn, Bethany, she's now going to William Jessup University, Sacramento, California, over 500 miles away. She doesn't know anyone there, not one person. We get ready to leave. She's crying. Julie's crying. I might be misting up some. And as we leave, Bethany, I say, be strong. And there's nothing. Bethany, be strong. And she blubbers out, and courageous. And then all of us are blubbering, all of us as we drive away. She's on the volleyball team. She got a scholarship. First day of practice, dislocates her kneecap, ligament damage. It's horrible. We're not there. Julie's freaking out. Okay, we're both freaking out. But I tell Julie, hey, be strong. And she says to me, and courageous. Why? Because God is with us, even our little girl, wherever she is. You fast forward now to January 2020. I'm going in for cancer surgery. To be honest, it's really a scary time. My family's great. And you know what my son Brett says to me? He says this to me as I'm leaving for the operating room. Dad, be strong. And it's one of those emotional times as I say to my son, and courageous. This week, will you be strong? That's what I want to say to you. And then your response is going to be what? Courageous. Maybe you can use this with your family this week.